Who are you and what did you do?
My name is Charles. I go by Large Lad Charles on YouTube because that is descriptive of me. And I topped the Birmingham Regional today. I came second.
Awesome. And then you're also part of the casting team. You recently did the UK Open. How's all that?
Yeah.
Find that fun?
Yeah, I'm not officially part of the team yet, but I did a couple of trial runs on the UK Open. It was amazing experience. It was so much fun to do. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I found it very funny coming in. Obviously, after hearing you've got a very voice actory voice. After hearing you on the UK Open, so it's kind of cool to hear it in person. So yeah, take us away. You picked Dracotail, I presume. Talk us through a bit
I
of it.
did indeed. I did indeed. I love this deck. I think it's really fun to play around with. Um, my main deck options are not particularly exciting, nothing too spicy going on there, but the extra deck is where I have a little bit of spice here and there.
Okay, very nice,
Um,
very nice.
so main deck, fairly standard lineup. We have 3/5 mana.
Yeah,
It's you play on your opponent's turn, you fusion summon, you can build a board on the opponent's turn if you have the right hand with this deck. It's very, very strong. As with a lot of decks from Justice Hunters, obviously.
yeah,
Um, it's just so good.
it's phenomenal.
3/5 mana, 3 Lucius, because standard.
Yeah,
3 Malulu, fantastic card. Uh,
yeah.
I'm running 2 Pan on 1 Urgula.
Okay.
I like this ratio a lot. Some people are running 1 of each, or 2 of each, or 3 of one, 1 the other, what have you. I personally just like this ratio. It just works well for me. It seems consistent enough. I see the pan where I want to see the pan. I don't always see it if I don't need to see it, and that's fine. The Urgula, you don't tend to, or at least in my opinion, I don't feel like I want to see Urgula in my opening hand all the time. I'd much rather use Q2 or Lucius or Rahu to just fuse with the deck with it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I'd rather do with Urgula. Because then obviously use it as part of the combo to add 5 mana back to your hand and go from there. But yeah, Urgula I like at 1, a pan I like at 2.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
The best starter in the deck, in my opinion, and the only piece of non-engine. So the last deck I was very invested in was Goblin Bikers. The best starter in the deck for Goblin Bikers is Speedroid Terratop. It's non-archetypal, you just have to top deck it.
Yeah,
Same with this thing.
yeah, yeah.
Hence why I run it at 3. It is like Malulu, except that it doesn't fusion lock you, and also you can then use it to do other stuff. It's quick effect fusion, so you can do it during the opponent's turn if they imperm it during your turn.
Yeah.
I love it. It's a great card. It also does bridge nicely into my little bit of extra deck spice that I use. But yeah, 3 cards easier.
I also think
Hand trap.
it's
Oh,
interesting.
sorry.
No, it's also interesting because it comes up as well the graveyard return to the hand effect,
It really does, yeah.
which
So
is
depending how you use it, but either way, like whatever you do with it, unless you're leaving it on the field until the next turn, you generally are going to put it in the graveyard for something.
yeah,
You get it back in hand, that's more fusion fodder
yeah,
to use for your, like it's such a good card.
yeah,
It's recursive. Yeah, love it. It's such a good card.
yeah.
It's so insane.
Beautiful artwork as well, which helps.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
Love it. I mean to be fair, Yu-Gi-Oh artwork rarely disappoints. It's always very, very
yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah, 100%.
Hand traps. I've got 17 hand traps in this deck. 20 if you count 5 mana, which debatable, you know.
Yeah,
3 Ash is Ash. Need I
Ash is
say
Ash.
more?
Yeah,
2 Ghost Spell and 2 Ghost Ogre. I've been using this ratio for a while. I actually found this quite fun when I saw this ratio in Stephen Trifanowski's topping YCS deck recently from Vancouver. He had this exact same ratio, and I was like, "Hey, I've been using that for that. Hey, that's my one. I've been using this ratio for a while. It's great. I like my hand traps to be. I've got a lot of 2-ofs in here. I like my hand traps to be somewhat toolboxy
okay.
because I feel like if I'm running 3 Ghost Spell and or 3 Ghost Ogre, I think I would top deck. Like I don't want to draw 2 of them.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
I don't mind drawing 2 Ash because that always comes up. It comes up during your turn and your opponent's turn. These do somewhat, but you know, I'd rather just play them at 2. I like them at 2. I think that they don't brick. I see them when I need them. I like it a lot too.
yeah. I guess like Imperm, Effect Veiler, they're like you can use them more than once, so it makes a lot of
Exactly.
sense. Yeah, you don't.
100%.
If you see 2 of these in hand, you will cry inside. So I did. Yeah, that makes a
Very
lot of sense.
upsetting. Yeah.
100%.
Which brings me on to 3 Veiler because
Yeah,
I was running when I first started running this deck. I was running 3 Imperm, but obviously Veiler just has that extra little level of synergy. That being, it's a monster you can fuse with.
okay.
Imperm's just a bit better in general. Any other deck I'd rather use Imperm, but in this deck specifically, Veiler's just a little bit better, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. 3 for Wallace, because for Wallace it's nuts. It's like Ash, you just have to run it at this point.
Yeah,
2 Perulia. I like Perulia at 2. I took Regenesis deck list to the Berlin WCQ. and I was using this exact ratio of 3 and 2, and I like it a lot. I used it because I used it specifically in that deck list because it can get Bricky going first, because in Regenesis, a lot of your interactions that you rely on when you're setting up a board going first is what do you still have in hand. And if all you've got in hand is some Mulch armies, that's bad.
Yeah.
But I ended up just liking the ratio. I've got the third Perulia, I've tested it with it. It's fine, like obviously you see it more often, but I don't know, don't feel like you need it as much. So I
Yeah.
like it at 2.
It's
And
interesting as well, because like
yeah,
I've seen people not playing Fublas a little bit, or I've seen people not playing Perulia. I feel like playing both of them in a deck which likes to have a big hand size is really, really handy.
absolutely. I
Even,
mean, worst case scenario, you can use it as fusion material, you know?
yeah, and also if it pushes your opponent to play slightly weirdly as well, and you still have other hand traps that will push them back into playing in a way that will, like, say if they have a line that isn't going to make them normal or special summon out of hand too much, and then you hand trap them and then they have to commit and you get more, it's very handy.
100%. So this actually, I spoke to a chap who made, I want to say top 100 at the UK Nats this year, who I was there with Regenesis. He also was on Regenesis, and he placed much higher than me. And I spoke to him because he didn't have any more Charmers in his deck list. I was like, well, what's that about? And he said, well, the thing with Regenesis is that it doesn't matter how many cards you have in hand, you aren't going to break the board. Which is true, to be fair. They just don't break boards. So his logic was, I'd rather have other hand traps that are going to do something. And I get that logic, but I decided to use them instead as it, myself. And I use them here because I think the value that you get out of Mulch Army is not necessarily the cards you draw. It's changing the way your opponent's going to play at their turn. You can make them end on a much smaller board, or they play into it and you get stuff for it.
Yep.
So that to me is the value that you get from a Mulch Army in this sort of deck. But that's just my thoughts on the matter.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Onto the spells. Nothing crazy here. Just 3 Q2, 3 Rahu, the crazy cards. If you're going second, you have 6 copies of Branded Fusion in your deck, and you can use 2 in the same turn. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So good.
I think also just being able to, like, say if your opponent interacts with you and you're not able to get, say, there's one thing you want in hand, like say if you haven't got 5 mana in hand, it's nice just being able to go to even just to get a 5 mana to get you ready. Sometimes it just fixes your hand perfectly, even going first.
Keto going first is just like a tenor in your hand to what you need, and then Rahu is either way is just going to be like, hey, I'm going to summon something, and you're not going to like it. And they're great. You got it. They can get a little bit bricky at times, running them obviously at 3 each. It's like you want to see 1 or 2 of these in your opening hand. Like 1 of each is fine, 1 of either of them is fine. If you draw too many of them, that can be frustrating. So it's not like it's perfect, but it does at least work, obviously.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you have too many in hand, then you run out of search targets as well, so you can't get your strong effects from you. But yeah, so like that's the only like real bricky thing that can happen with this deck. Well, that and the traps, obviously, which 1 of each.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the deck is remarkably consistent. I've got to say, it's all day with just. I think I bricked once or twice, and even then, it wasn't like I can't play brick. It was, I'm going first, but I've got a pass turn. But then you've got a lot of hand traps that you can use, so it's not really like a brick. It's just not the best hand.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's the main deck. 40 cards.
Yeah, pretty standard. Yeah, like you were saying. I think, did you find that you missed, like, did you want the Shadow package in at all? Or, like, did you try the Shadow package? Or any of, like, the Add the Poly one? Or even the Frightful package? Any of those?
So I tried out the King of the Swamp package.
Yeah.
Didn't like it very much. I found it's not bad, and I'm not, again, like, I'm hardly an authority on this. You play the deck how you want to play the deck.
Yeah.
You play what you're comfortable with. I've got a buddy who went there today who was playing pure Art Mage, and it's because he's comfortable with the deck and he likes it, and that's like, cool, love that. And so it's, you play what you're comfortable with, you play what you like, obviously.
Yeah.
I tried out King of the Swamp, didn't really get on with it that much. I think the issue with King of the Swamp is that it takes away your flex spots in your extra deck, which I like to have.
Okay.
And it can just, like, it can leave you with 1 less monster in hand if you discard it for Poly. You like, for example, a lot of people are like, oh, but you can summon Red Eyes Darkness Dragoon, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 2025. You can out it so easily, dude.
Yeah.
You can out that card, like a talent outs that, and then you lose. It's not a difficult card to out these days. It is, I will say, one card that I would like to use against Lunar Lights, because I do struggle with that. I don't have an out
Yeah.
to that in this deck. Like a Dancer, if you summon that, I will scoop, because I
Yep.
don't have an out.
Yeah.
Um, and it does out that somewhat, but otherwise, yeah, I personally am not a big fan of that. The Shadow package, never tried that, to be honest. It doesn't even come up for me. I played against a few people testing where they were playing the Shadow package, and I was able to outwinder quite easily, so it
Yeah.
just didn't really seem that big of a deal. Like, it's
Yeah.
not bad by any means, it's just also not, it's just
Yeah.
whatever.
It is a little bit cheesy, so
Yeah.
and it does feel a little bit bricky. I tried the Shadow package myself and the Poly one as well, but I don't know. It feels a bit inconsistent, and I do feel like honestly I would rather the hand traps, because if I'm gonna brick, I would rather have hand traps in my hand than a random Shadow Beast.
100%, 100%. Because you can use that. If I have 5 hand traps in hand going first, I'm gonna pass fine.
Yeah.
I'm not upset about that because I can stop my opponent from playing and then keep playing myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't bother me that. If my opponent can play through 5 hand traps, quite frankly, they deserve to win. At
Yeah.
that point, sure, well done, mate. I'll go for the extra deck now. Give a little bit of spice here and there with this.
Okay.
1 SP comes up. I summon it fairly frequently, quite often going first. The next thing is what a lot of people tend to summon with this, which is I run this little package here, which
Yeah.
is Heretic Scylla, Heavenly Spheres, and Spirit's Eyes of Blue. Didn't use this at all today.
Oh.
Literally didn't use it at all, because this is absolutely, without a doubt, your strongest end board. If you can end on these cards, that is your strongest end board. However, you play into Nibiru when you do this, because you end on Seal's Gulamel, that's your 5th summon, you get nibbed, and you're like, well, that doesn't feel great.
Yeah.
It's not like, obviously you get a Malulu on board with that, but you don't want a Malulu on board. You want your Seal and you want your whatever. So what I tend to do, if I'm going first in the first game, I will go into SP or something else I'll show you in a bit. And then that's my fourth. I do 4 summons with Gulamel out as well. It's still a very strong field, and I've played under Nibiru. If I'm going first again later on in that game, I will then go for the Seals line.
Okay.
Because more than likely, most opponents are going to go,
Yeah.
4 summons, I will side out Nibiru, and then I can play into it and I'll feel more safe from it. It's less likely it's going to be there. That's my thought process. But yeah, I didn't actually get a chance to summon any of these today. I'd like to, they're strong, but didn't get to, but there you go.
Yeah.
SP came out a lot more often. I've run 1 Dingirsu.
Ooh. Okay. I like this.
Because so I noticed some people are running rank 8s that you can play going first, like rank 8s that set up strong negations, like Titanic Hope Harbinger, whatever it's called,
Yeah.
or
The Galaxy one.
Photon,
Yeah.
exactly, stuff like that, and that's fine. But generally speaking, going first, you aren't going to summon 2 Arthalion.
Yeah.
You're going to summon more often than not. What I've noticed is going second. If you get out an Arthalion turn 0, and then get the one out on your turn, you can then Dingirsu.
Okay. I like that.
So it's more of a ball breaking option, because you can Dingirsu to obviously just send a card non-targeting. That's why it's so strong, obviously.
Yeah.
Attack with it, and then Zeus. Did not come up today. These actually come up a lot in my testing when I'm testing out against people, but didn't come up today. But yeah, these are, I think, a really nice little package to use in there for ball breaking and whatnot.
I like the concept.
Yeah, it seems to work out for me in testing. 1 Typhon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing me said. This is my spice. Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon.
Okay.
Level 12 Synchro. Cartesia is a level 4 tuner. So you use Cartesia to summon Arthalion. Plays under Nibiru, because you get 4 summons out that turn. And I like this a lot more than Seals against something like anything that can wants things in hand. Anything that uses fusion summons, anything that's like Vanquish Soul, and like even Malice, anything like that wants things in hand or wherever. No, don't want to go with Seals on that. That's going to bounce it back to your hand. You can fuse with it, you can reveal it on Vanquish Soul, do anything like that. I'd much rather use, and I used it a lot today. I used this I made this, I think, almost every match.
Interesting.
And it's great because it's a very strong form of removal. Just to put something like turn it into a continuous spell in your opponent's back row, they can't do anything with it then. It's just done. if they're playing a pendulum deck, even better. Just put it there. They can't do anything. So yeah, Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon came up a lot today. It did definitely swing me some games, like swung things in my favor for me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just great. It's such a strong card.
Yeah, that's really
I like,
cool. It's an interesting
yeah.
tech. I like it.
I did look into other level 12 synchros, and there is a Despian Luluwalith, I think it's called.
Oh,
That's,
yes.
I think that's a decent card, but it's not as... I mean, this is a dragon, so it has that extra level of synergy as well. We can
Yeah.
fuse with it and do stuff with it. So I personally think this is a very nice card to use. And again, it came up a lot today, so I'm very happy with it.
Yeah.
One Chimera Mega Fleet just for the Crystron K9 matchup. I know there was a couple there, although I didn't go up against any of those today.
Yeah, so I don't. Did you think about side decking this rather than putting in the extra, or?
I mean, you have so much space with the extra deck in this build. I could have side decked it, but what else would I put in? Was my thought process.
That's fair enough.
You know, like I absolutely could side deck it. But I would have put maybe a third Gulamel, maybe another Typhon just to catch people off guard. You know, no idea. But I'd rather just put it in main because if I'm lose that die roll against a Kenon Crystron player, boom, I've got it. I'm good to go. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really see the point in siding it when I have the space for it. It's like flex spot kind of thing. One Mystery on the Dragon Crown. Didn't use this at all today because in the matchups where it would have been useful, I either lost too soon or didn't need it to win.
Yeah.
It's really good. Great against Malice, great against Mitsurugi, great against Yummy, great against a lot of stuff, honestly. It's really good, but didn't come up today, so, you know.
Yeah.
Second Drown Dragon, great in the mirror match. Didn't have any mirror matches today, but I did summon this to use its reborn effect and then push for game at some point. That was good.
Yeah. I like that how it's got that little added extra. It's a floodgate, and it does something as well, which is
100%. Yeah, it's really nice. And also, again, you can make a rank 8 with this because it's a level 8 itself. And if you're not fusion locked by then, boom, you got a rank 8 on the go.
Yeah, exactly.
2 Gulamel and 3 Arthalion, which is all fairly standard fare at that point because they're great cards. And why would you not want to use them, you know?
Yeah, makes sense. Did you find that the second Gulamel came up much?
Yeah, it came up enough. It came up enough to justify its spot, you know? I didn't use it every game, but I also didn't use seals, and that's staying in, you know. So it's
yeah.
Whether or not it came up at every game, I'm like, you know what, that's come up enough for me to go, yeah. In a grind game, you want it, you know.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Yeah. Side deck, I run 2 Meows because I feel like you have to respect Malice still.
Yep.
It's also good into like Lunar Light. It's good into a lot of different decks that summon from graveyard a lot. It's just a very good card. 3 Lancia because some decks just can't play through a Lancia.
Yep.
3 Droll, same reason. 3 Phantasme, this is obviously very good into anything that summons links. I saw it in a couple of times today, but never saw it. But I'm not going to take it out because it's really good.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And then 3 Castor Ephemeria because going for... Again, I don't think I saw this today, but I saw it in a lot. I just never saw it.
Yeah, I think it helps in the... Against K9, it's just fantastic, isn't it? It's like going first.
So good. So good going first.
The fact that it replaces itself in hand as well to give you that, like, I think it's like half made for this deck. It almost feels like it's brilliant.
100%. It's also good into the mirror match as well because obviously they want to summon during your turn. They're going to have to pay for that.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, it's really good. And then 1 Feather Duster, which it's a Saki one-off against back row decks, but I never saw one of those today anyway. So on the off chance I do face them, I just simply can't put this not in my side deck.
Yeah.
Because I know that as soon as I take it out, so everyone's going to be on Odeon. So I kind of just have to, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the deck, man.
That's the deck. I think a lot of your side deck makes a lot of sense as well. Like Malice is running around a lot, and Droll I feel like is really handy because there's still a lot of Mitsurugi about. I feel like people like Josh Kelly is making Mitsurugi still quite like popular as well because he's doing so well with it on the regional scene. So it makes sense. I respect that. So what were your matchups on the day?
Matchups were, first round was Mitsurugi Ryziel. I misplayed... I have a history of doing this. Whenever I go to an event, my first game is always I lose because I misplay like a fool. Yep. Don't know, it's every time. My first game is like, well, yep, sure, let's go next. Lost it, misplayed like an idiot. Game 2 went first, played well, played normally, and I won. Game 3, Droll happened, so, you know, that got the win there. Matchup 2 was Mitsurugi Ryziel again. I lost that one. He quite quickly 2-0'd me. I was like, well, that's upsetting. Yeah. And I got a little bit disheartened, but, you know, you must persevere and carry on. Game 3 was against Malice. really talented player, I gotta say. Very good, very strong player. He knew what he was doing. I just happened to like it's you get the right hands for it, obviously.
Yeah.
The last game I won because he was rolling the dice on me having because I had activated one of the traps. I'd drawn one card. The only card that could have stopped him was Ghost Spell, and I had
Okay.
Ghost Spell.
Yeah.
Just he rolled the dice on that. It was a very calculated risk, but obviously these things happen.
Yep.
Game 4 was against VSK9.
Okay.
That was the first game that the new time rules came into effect for me, because game 1 was very grindy, but he managed to pull out the win. Game 2, I managed to win quite quickly. Game 3, he bricked really bad going first. Like, he had to normal summon Izuna and go from there. Like, it was a very bad hand for him.
Yeah.
Then game 5 was Sky Striker.
Okay.
Same guy, actually. So I played against this guy. Very nice chap he is. I played against this guy at a winner box on Wednesday.
Okay.
And the exact same thing happened in both of our games, which is I go first game 1, I set up a full board that he can't get through. He goes first game 2, and he bricks. And it's just like, to be fair, his going second hand today, going first hand today wasn't bad. It just couldn't play through Droll, and I top deck Droll.
Yeah, that helps. That helps a lot.
It do be doing that. It do be doing that.
Yeah.
So that was game 5. Game 6 was against another Mitsurugi Raziel. I went first in the first game. I think I had a Mulcharmy, a few hand traps, and a Dracotail horn in hand.
Okay.
And I thought, I can set the horn and just use it on whatever the first normal summon is, but there's no guarantee he plays into horn or doesn't have the out for it.
Yeah.
So I think I'd rather pass and just go Mulcharmy and use Mo non-engine, which I did. Managed to get me the game.
Good.
Then game 2, I decided for going second. He made me go first. I was like, oh, okay. I just happened to draw the best hand going first, though. Like, it was like, well, even with my siding options, this was really, really good hand still. So it was just unfortunate for him at that point. Not a bad strategy, to be fair. I think he was a calculated guess, to be fair, but, because Mitsurugi's great at breaking fields, well, obviously, so.
Yeah.
Game 7, last one of the day, was the one I was dreading the absolute most, and that was Lunalight. Game 1, again, I think I was going first in the first game, and a very similar thing happened where I just top decked some Mulcharmies and some hand traps. I was like, well, I guess I'll pass to you. I managed to slow him down enough to eventually steal that game, like drawing hand traps. I think I Mulcharmied on 2 separate turns because I just kept drawing Mulcharmies. I'm like, well, I guess I'll pass turn again and do it again. So I managed to just scrape away the win on that first game. Game 2, I lost because, honestly, quite a similar thing happened, but I managed to slow him down enough that he couldn't summon Lagidancer straight away.
Okay.
But I couldn't then keep playing. As soon as he managed to summon Lagidancer, I was like, cool, next game, because I can't out it. Game 3, I don't remember what my opening hand was, but my end field was Snake Eyes Doom Dragon, Gulamel, the traps, and hand was Phimena, Cartesia, Droll, and Effect Veiler. And he just couldn't play through that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The only thing he had in hand, which he kept trying to bait out the trap for, was Heavy Poly. But
Okay.
Heavy Poly, actually, at the UK Open, I entered a side event during my downtime, and I lost immediately to Lagidancer because they Heavy Poly'd, I used the trap on it, and then they ashed the trap. I was like, well, you just win, because I can't add that at that point. So I knew, I was like, I'm not going to use the flame on any of these spells you're throwing at me, because there's no point. As soon as I use it, you're going to Heavy Poly and I'll lose. And I was right. And then he last card in hand, he Heavy Poly'd, I trap, he went, cool. Handshake, that was it. And yeah, that was a matchup for the day, yeah.
So, what placement did you get in the end?
Came second place.
Oh, happy days.
So I actually would have come 4th, I believe. However, the 2nd and 3rd people, who should have maybe got 2nd and 3rd, they got a double loss in their last game. And that obviously benefited me. I got 2nd place instead. Because they were both on Lunalight, and neither of them wanted to concede. So they were like, double. Cause I think they were just kind of safe. You know what? We've topped anyway, They knew at that point they topped anyway. They didn't care. They had their invites. They got their deck boxes. It was all fine. But they were like, you know what? I think I can win. You think you can win. We're both going to top.
Yeah.
Double loss, which you know, like I don't think it was like a planned thing. Obviously, I wouldn't say that they organised that, but that's just what they decided at the time.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, but match gets
it's
second.
interesting. And then yeah, so total experience of the event then was pretty well run. Did you find that new time rules map made it a bit more streamlined? How did you find all that?
Yes, there was only two double losses throughout the entire day.
Okay.
I was concerned about the new time. I think, like a lot of people, I saw them as like, don't know how that's going to play out. Don't know how I feel about this. Decided to just go. You know what? We'll give it a go. We'll see how it plays out. See how it goes. Honestly, they were great. Everyone played quickly. There was no cheesy time wins. Everyone knew what they were doing. There was it seemed like seemingly fewer judge calls. Weirdly, I don't know what that. Maybe that's just this event, but I don't know. It seemingly didn't a lot of judge calls going on. People just played. People played properly, played quickly, knew what they were doing, and only a handful of games went close to time with two double losses throughout the whole event. So honestly, I think the time rules for this event, I can't speak for all events ever, but for this event, complete triumph. Gotta say, they did really well. Everything went quickly. There was enough time in the day to have an hour food break, you know, because normally you
Yeah.
just don't get that. You just keep playing and eat where you can. But
Yeah.
because of how the new time rules work, we went, yeah, we'll get an hour break at 3. Like, cool, sounds good.
That's what. And
So
it was 7 rounds. You said, or was it 6?
7 rounds, yeah.
Yeah, 7 rounds, and you get an hour for a lunch break is kind of
It's nuts. Oh, you don't unheard of. Who does that?
yeah. That's because what I presume what start at 10 a.m. sort of,
Started at 11, I believe.
and
Just
started at 11.
yeah.
That's
It
okay.
was quick. Like I've been to the YCS, I've been to Nats, and I've been to the WCQ now, which is 3 big events that I've been to, and the 45 minutes rounds always end up taking minimum of an hour because there's always time extensions. People always play along into time,
Yeah.
and genuinely, I think that regarding the new time rules and in terms of how they make the events flow, night and day, so good.
Interesting. Okay. I'll be interested to see how people's opinions change over the coming weeks and seeing how this affects all the events coming up. But it's nice to hear from someone playing an event with the new time rules that it went well. That's interesting.
Went very well.
Um, yeah. Is there any other things you want to talk about? Any other things come to mind?
Not that I can think of. I mean, I've enjoyed this deck a lot. Obviously, if anyone wants to copy my list, feel free. Let me know in the comments or whatever how you feel about it. I'll shout out my YouTube channel quickly. It was Large Lad Charles,
Yes.
and my
Yep.
Twitter is LLCharlesYGO.
Any other shout outs you want to do?
No,
No?
no, I'm good.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for coming on, and hopefully we hear more of your voice in the upcoming events and stuff, especially in the UK wise. It'd be kind of nice if you got a trip over to France or something like that. I imagine that would be the
Great.
cancer's dream.
Really
But
cool. Really cool.
yeah, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, mate. Much appreciated.